Welcome to Dynamic Homeschool. In this video, I wanted to show how I plan the week with 4 children. So stay tuned. Okay, so when I'm planning for 4 children for the week, the first thing I do is I just start with my oldest first. It's easier for me to plan a lot for my oldest and then scale back to my youngest than it is to do it the other way around. So when I start planning for the week, I start with my oldest in mind. Things that I consider and I write down on our planners are our extracurriculars that we do, like we do jujitsu and we attend church and we have some volunteer stuff we do. So all of that information I'll put down on the planner for the week. I look at my planner and then I put it on their planner. And so when I'm planning, I have an idea of what this day is going to look like. On Mondays and Wednesdays are usually our light days. I try not to plan something like art or geography because those we really want to take our time in. You know, we're digging out art supplies, we're making messes. So those I want on days that we don't have other stuff at the end of the day to do because I want to take our time with it. So I don't plan those on Mondays and Wednesdays. Another thing is I try to do as many group subjects as possible. So with Layers of Learning, if you haven't seen my review, check it out. We do history, science, geography, art, and I do some read alouds with all of my children. Now, my 4-year-old she doesn't sit through any of those, but I do have coloring pages if she wants to sit with us. Obviously, it's not mandatory. And my first grader, she's still pretty little that, again, she has coloring pages. If we're doing some project that relates to it, then she can do that. So planning and having those all together saves me time. And then they'll do like their math, reading, and any like extras, like my 8th graders doing note taking or handwriting. They'll do those separately. Another thing is when I start school for the day, I start with my youngest. So I start with my preschooler and my 1st grader. I get them out of the way. They're usually ready to go first thing in the morning compared to my older 2. So I'll get them done and then I'll move on to the subjects that require my older 2. What else? So when it comes to planning, I gather all of my oldest's schoolwork first. And then I like to start with the morning time. How are we going to start the day? Because that's really important. I don't want to just, even though it always feels like we're just like starting, I want it to be like a gradual, like not hard hitting just yet. So usually I start with the morning time. I think about what are we going to read? Is it correlating to something? We do daily fundamentals, which is usually just a review of, right now they have daily fundamentals up till grade 6. So they're just doing grade 6 stuff, reviewing, and then like handwriting, because it's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of brain power. You're just kind of copying and practicing your handwriting. So that's what I start with. Then what I do is I just go down my planner and it starts with morning work and then it goes to math, vocabulary or spelling, language arts, science, history. I write in geography, art, extra, and then our curricular. So like I said, I write down when we have things to do. So when I'm planning, I make sure that I don't plan a very heavy load. So the first thing I would do is I would just grab her daily fundamentals. And if I was starting out, obviously you would just start with page 1. You would write daily fundamentals, page 1, and you would do that throughout the entire week. Because we obviously are almost done for the year, I'm just going to go to the next page that she needs to do, which would be page 93. I just look at it and see if it's something that I know that she's done before, can she do it? I'm going to write daily fundamentals up here, and then I'm going to write page 93. And then on Tuesday, I'll do page 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. I'll write those down on here, and then we'll go to math, and I'll plan math. So very simple. You're just going through the curriculum, writing down what you need, what you're doing, and I'm gonna do that for I'm gonna start with my oldest, then I'll go to my second oldest, my son. Now, because I've already planned for my first on when it comes to history, science, geography, art, and the read aloud, I just have to write this in, and then I'm like, that portion is done, then I can move on to his math. And so the most time consuming is the beginning, figuring out what is the week going to look like. The same for my first grader. I will just put, if we're doing history, what day are we doing it? What are we doing? Because sometimes, yeah, so I'll just put what we're doing. So after I've written it in all in here, I will take this, I will open up my planner. I will write down the things that I need to do with them, such as fix it is something we do together, history we do together, science we do together, and I'll write myself little notes on what is happening, and then make sure I just have all of the supplies ready. So when you get ready to plan, start with your oldest and then work backwards. It's easier to scale down and consider whether your youngest can participate in this or not. And if not, it's easier to just go back to the curriculum if you're using layers of learning and pick something that's for a first grader than it is to start with a first grader and figure out what can my oldest do. For me, takes a little bit more time to make sure that I'm getting something that's pushing her a little bit. So hopefully this helps you. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see something else. Happy homeschooling.